Hello, my beautiful people. It is Cecilia. Don't worry, I'm not driving. I'm literally just chilling in the car. I am being driven. I have a message for you. You clicked on this video. You are not here to live a realistic life. You are not here to live a realistic life. Realistic things will get you realistic results. Realistic ideas about how the world works will keep you in a box. So when you hear someone or something telling you to be realistic and to think realistically and practically, maybe that's good advice in some situations, but does your heart and your intuition know that that is actually really silly advice? Because if you live realistically, who sets the standards for what is realistic? Who sets the standards for what is practical? You are going to be living by somebody else's rules. You are going to be living by somebody else's limitations. And people who say you got to be realistic, you got to think practical, you got to, take things seriously, whatever limits people are talking about, those are the limits that they believe in. But it's up to you to not believe in those limits for yourself. Only you can do that. Literally only you can do that. So if you want to live an amazing, incredible, heart-led life that you do not look back on with regret, if you want to live a life that you can just thoroughly enjoy and be proud of and really feel like you never gave up on yourself, you cannot be realistic. You cannot be a realistic person about it. You've got to create your own reality with it. You can't live by somebody else's idea of what's realistic or not, because honestly, we all have our own limits that we have. We all have our own ideas of what is realistic, what is practical, what is the safe thing. We all have our own ideas, and if someone's telling you theirs, it's up to you to believe it or not. Because what's realistic for someone who, I don't know, they work their whole life, don't really love their job, save up for retirement, and then they're able to retire and it realistically works for them, but they haven't fully lived or fully taken the plunge into anything that truly lights up their heart. Sure, that's realistic, and maybe that worked for them. That was their version of realistic. But then you can look at another person and they are following their heart. They are wildly abundant, so much so that they are basically retired to the point that they don't even want to retire because creating money is so fun. That's another person's version of realistic. Being realistic will lead you nowhere. So it's truly about following your heart. It's truly about creating your own version of, this is how my reality is going to go. And it isn't about ignoring the world that we live in and existing in the world from a place of fear, I don't want to even look at things. It's not about that. It's about looking at it all, looking at the fear and the what if it doesn't work out and the worry and the what if it does work out. What if this thing that truly lights me up is the direction I am meant to go? Looking at it all and allowing it all to be in your awareness and then choosing from there. It's not about hiding from things. And I think when people say, oh, that's not realistic, I think they're actually hiding from something. I think they're actually the ones with the limits. And so just be careful and cautious and conscious of whose limitations you are taking in. Because what is realistic? What is realistic? We are literally on a spinning freaking planet in space. What is realistic? We're human beings that are alive and that exist, and there's seasons, and there's the sun and the moon, and there's nature and animals and plants and so much magic on this planet. There's so much magic. We're in a universe. What really is realistic? Who is deciding these things? Don't let anybody decide these things for you. You decide what your realistic looks like. You decide what your life is going to look like. And don't let yourself be limited by anyone who has given up, anyone who is doing something that feels safe to them. Because if you live your entire life based on what you think is safe, are you truly living? And that's for you to discern and figure out. But I'll just say this for myself. I am doing the unrealistic thing. I felt called to quit my job because it wasn't lighting me up. I felt called to really dive deep and learn about wealth consciousness. I felt called to invest in my own knowledge, invest in myself, invest in all of these things, build a new foundation within myself. I felt called to take chance after chance after chance on myself instead of going and doing the safe, realistic thing that everyone was telling me to do, which was to go get a job with benefits and all of the safe things. I kept on following my heart and taking a chance on myself, and now I'm here driving to the coast with my family on a random Wednesday, because every single day I get to do what I want. Every single day I am supported, and I'm doing the unrealistic thing. I just went and got a facial, and this isn't to brag, this is just like, this is reality. This is literally my reality at this point. I just went and got a facial because I believe in investing in myself and taking care of myself, and I believe that will help me reach that next level of abundance and also enjoy life, which that is true abundance. I went and got a facial and I made money during my facial. And now I'm going to the coast with my family. I'm not worried about a thing. And that's realistic to me. But you get to decide what's realistic for you. And if you live your entire life based on what other people are telling you is realistic or not, you're not going to be able to truly show up. And the world needs you to truly show up. The world needs you to follow your heart. The world needs you to live your truth and not somebody else's. The world needs you exactly as you are, believing in yourself, following your heart. That is why you're here. You're not here to live a realistic life. You are not here to live a practical, normal, expected life. And you know you're not. Is there anything else to say about this? You get to choose realistic. There's no such thing. There's no such thing. And anyone that tells you otherwise, you don't have to listen to them. You get to choose your reality. You get to choose what feels right for you. And if you want to live a magical, amazing, expansive, enjoyable, regretless life, you have to not live by the rules of what's realistic or not. Because who is making up those rules? Gotta ask that question. So have a beautiful day. Take this in, use your discernment, and you are here to follow your heart. Sending you love. Bye.